Hey guys, today we are going to be taking a look at the Capital One Duo. This is a two-card setup that will help you maximize your cash back on your day-to-day spending, while also providing tons of benefits, perks, and opportunities when it does come to travel as well. The first card that you will need in this duo is going to be the Capital One Savor One credit card. I recommend this being the first card that people get inside of this lineup, as it is better for your day-to-day spending, and as we're going to see, has no annual fee. And the second card you will need to complete this setup is going to be the Capital One Venture X. This is going to be more focused on travel. Now you will have the opportunity to substitute it in for a lower annual fee card, being the Capital One Venture card. However, if you do make that decision, you are going to be losing out on some more cash back and some travel related perks. But today I want to walk you through how exactly you can build this setup for yourself and everything that you should know if you already carry it or are planning on carrying it to get the most cash back and value out of this lineup. With that being said, let's first take a look at that Capital One Savor One credit card. As I just mentioned a little bit before, the first thing you should know is that it has no annual fee. Now, at the time of filming this video, the sign-up bonus for the card is if you spend $500 in the first 3 months of holding the card, you can earn $200 cash back. Now, this is pretty standard, but if you are able to hit that sign-up bonus, this is a great way for you to start accumulating Capital One points that we'll later be able to use for travel with our Capital One Venture X. The Savor One is not going to give us any statement credits included with the card, which is typical for no annual fee cards. However, what I think is the best part about the Savor One is its spending categories. With this credit card, you can earn 5% cash back on your hotels and rental cars purchased through Capital One. You can earn 3% cash back on your dining, entertainment, popular streaming services, and grocery purchases. And you're also going to be able to earn 1% cash back everywhere else. This is another reason I recommend going for this card first. It has no fee, but those spending categories are super awesome, especially being able to earn 3% back on those streaming services, groceries, and dining. All three of those are such common expenses, and if you are going to travel with this card, you're not going to miss out on too much cash back, as you still have the opportunity to earn 5% back with this card. There are also some smaller perks included with this credit card that will typically change over time, but I still want to review those as there's a ton of value to gain from them. Right now, there is a benefit where you can earn 10% cash back on your Uber and Uber Eats purchases, and you can actually get your Uber One membership taken care of. I believe this runs up until November 2024. Another huge benefit of the card, you will actually be able to earn 8% cash back on your Capital One entertainment purchases. Now, this is different than that 3% cash back on our entertainment we saw earlier. To hit this 8%, it will need to be purchased through the Capital One portal. That being said though, just go through them to earn an extra 5% cash back, which is a lot. You will also be able to take this card anywhere without any extra foreign transaction fees, which is always a win. There are also some smaller perks and benefits I'll run through real quickly. A lot of these are pretty much the same on the Venture and Venture X cards that we will see later. The Savor One is going to give you a 24/7 complimentary concierge service. You're going to have an extended warranty with the card, a 24-hour assistance for travel accident insurance, instant purchase notifications. You're going to have access to Capital One Shopping and be able to use your rewards for shopping or redeem with PayPal. You're going to have access to the Capital One Travel Portal. You can also enjoy 50% off handcrafted beverages at any Capital One cafe worldwide. There are going to be some protections, including security alerts, $0 fraud liability protection, virtual card numbers from Eno, card lock. There's going to be account alerts, and you're also going to be able to track your credit changes with CreditWise. And be sure to head over to Capital One yourself and go read through some of these perks and benefits. It will really help you understand what all is involved with the credit card. But that will wrap up everything you should know about the Capital One Savor One. But now let's look at the second half of the duo with the Capital One Venture X. Looking at the Capital One Venture X, the first thing that you should know is that it does have an annual fee of $395. However, with that fee, you're going to receive a $300 annual travel credit each year. You're also going to get a $100 credit for TSA PreCheck or global entry every 4 years. Another perk with this card, every year you do carry it, Capital One is going to gift you 10,000 anniversary miles. This is going to be around $100 cash back every single year. So if you are worried about that annual fee, right away that's being wiped out with so many statement credits. The card currently has a sign-up bonus where you can earn 75,000 Capital One miles when you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months of carrying this credit card. But to highlight the spending categories with this credit card, with the Venture X, you can earn 10 times miles on your hotels and rental cars purchased through Capital One, 5 times miles on your flights to Capital One, and 2 times miles everywhere else you spend with the credit card. So if you're going to get this card and use it adjacently with the Capital One Savor One, you would use it for all of your travel purchases and anywhere you don't get 3% cash back with the Savor One. And this is truly a reason I really like this setup. It is so simple. So many card setups out there require memorization of where do I use this card, how do I use it? But with the Capital One Duo, if it's not travel, then go use your Savor One, and if it's not one of those things, just go right back to your Venture X to lock up the 2x miles. Now there are going to be some additional perks to carrying this credit card. First things first, you're going to have access to the Capital One Lounge collection to get you into airport lounges at 1,300 different ones worldwide. The card is also going to give you a $100 experience credit and daily breakfast for 2. You're going to get a $50 experience credit for a room upgrade with the Lifestyle collection. You're also going to have perks with Hertz for your rental cars, so you can skip the line and get some nice upgrades to better cars. It's going to be an auto rental damage collision waiver. Capital One will also match you on all of your travel purchases if you find a better rate somewhere else. This card is going to lock you up 5x miles on your Capital One entertainment, which we saw the Savor One will give us 8% cash back, so that one's actually better. But this card for the Venture X will also give you a $149 value for a prior subscription to enhance your travel even more. Some extra perks include extra card holders, no foreign transaction fees, no blackout dates. You're going to have a cell phone protection up to $800 when you use this card for that. You're going to have some flexible opportunities to redeem your miles, and you're also going to be able to get some referral bonuses. Before diving into how you can actually use all of your cash back and the miles you've been earning with these credit cards, I do want to talk about the Venture card real fast in case you do want to go with that instead of the Venture X. Now, the Capital One Venture is going to have a $95 annual fee, which is significantly less than the Venture X. With that card, you're not going to get the same level of benefits and statement credits. You are going to receive a $50 statement credit for that room upgrade with the Lifestyle collection. You're going to receive the same $100 for global entry or TSA PreCheck every 4 years. You're going to also receive some perks with Hertz as well if you do carry the Venture card. And currently this card is running the same sign-up bonus as the Venture X, where if you spend $4,000 in the first 3 months, you earn back 75,000 miles. Where we will see a difference though is with our spending categories. With this Venture card, you can earn 5x miles on your hotels and rental cars through Capital One, and then 2x miles everywhere else. Unfortunately, you're not going to get as much value with this credit card for travel if you don't carry the Venture X. Between the Capital One Savor One and solely the Venture, there's no way to earn cash back on your flights. But if you are going to go with this card and say you have the Capital One Savor One and the Capital One Venture, use the Savor One for pretty much everything for those 3% cash back, and then use the Venture as your catch-all card to lock up 2x miles anywhere you aren't going to get cash back with your other card. So that will do it for the cards themselves, but the biggest perk about carrying this Duo is you're going to be able to pool your points together on one of the Venture cards and have access to the Capital One transfer partners. A key thing here I want to clarify, if you carry the Capital One Savor One alone, you will not have access to the transfer partners. You can earn a ton of cash back with that card, but unless you have the Venture or Venture X, you won't be able to use the transfer partners. In total, Capital One is going to offer us 18 transfer partners, 15 of which are going to be for our airlines, 3 of which are going to be for our hotels. And as for the actual value of the points and cash back you're going to be earning with this setup, they're going to be at 1 cent per point if you redeem it for straight cash back. But if you do elect to use the transfer partners, that's averaged out at around 1.8 to 1.9 cents per point when redeemed properly. And just to highlight a couple of the transfer partners, there's going to be Virgin Atlantic, Emirates, British Airways, Accor, Choice Privileges. There's so much there. I'd highly recommend going to the website, checking them out yourselves to see if you do travel with them. I'd also recommend checking out some other systems and see what they have to offer, such as American Express or Chase. Capital One definitely has a lot of opportunities to transfer. Personally, they're not my favorite for your transfer partners. I think that they have a great quantity but lacking quality, whereas someone like Chase might offer you better quality partners with a little bit less. And one final point I want to make about this credit card setup is how to actually use it. I've touched upon it throughout the video of use this here, but I just want to spell it out so it's quite simple. Let's say I decide to go with the Capital One Savor One and the Capital One Venture X cards. I'm going to use my Capital One Savor One for 3% cash back on my dining, entertainment, popular streaming services, and at grocery stores. And depending on if the promotions are still running, I can use that card for 10% back on my Uber purchases and 8% back on my Capital One entertainment. I'm then going to use my Venture X for all of my travel, which is going to include the 10 times points back on my hotels and rental cars through Capital One, 5 times points back on my flights through Capital One, and I'm also going to use this card everywhere else to lock up 2 times miles. But now let's say instead of going with the Venture X, I go with the Capital One Venture. So that means I'll have the Savor One and the Venture cards. I'm still going to use that Savor One for the 3% cash back on my dining, entertainment, streaming services, and groceries, as well as possibly for 10% back on my Uber and Uber Eats purchases and that 8% on Capital One Entertainment. And just for simplicity, I'd recommend using the Venture card as your travel card as well. You're gonna get that 5 times points back on your rental cars and hotels through Capital One and 2 times miles everywhere else. I know that 5% back from the Savor One on your travel is the same as on the Venture, but just go with the Venture for the simplicity. But I truly hope that that spells it out pretty easily as where you're supposed to use each card and how you can actually use this setup to get the most value out of it. There's so many opportunities that you can use for that cash back for, such as the transfer partners, straight cash back, gift cards. There's so much there. Please go to the Capital One website and check it out yourselves. But if this duo doesn't necessarily seem to fit you, be sure to check out my videos on the American Express trifecta, Chase trifecta, Wells Fargo trifecta. Those are some other popular credit card setups out there that might be better suited for you, depending on where you spend and how you like to use your cash back. I'll also have in-depth reviews on both credit cards in the description below for the Savor One and the Venture X. I greatly appreciate y'all watching. If you guys go hit like, comment, and subscribe, it helps me grow this channel significantly to continue to put out content for you all. I greatly appreciate y'all watching. I'll see you in the next video.